TFNN. The Morning Market Kickoff with your host, Tommy O'Brien. Now, Tommy O'Brien.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Tommy O'Brien coming to you live from TFNN, 8:30 a.m. on Wednesday morning. 60 minutes to go until the opening bell, and we have futures limit down. It seems like limit down or up, more likely down than up lately, is becoming the norm pre-market. But right now, you're talking about a Dow minus about 4% off 821 points, just above 20,039. That's a limit down. Market indicating that it's going to open below that level. We'll see where we end up in about 60 minutes. S&P futures, negative 92 points, 3.7%, 2393. Nasdaq futures off 328 points. We're going to jump into oil to start things off. Quite a handle on oil, $24.88 in the price of crude. I mean, just since Wednesday, we were at $36. Let alone you back things up, you put it on a yearly. My goodness, you don't have to go far, folks. January 8th, crude was trading above $65. We're now trading at $25. Remarkable run. Putting it on a shorter time frame. Crude, I mean, it just keeps dropping. You saw the drop on that Sunday night where we opened from 33 to about 30.50, and it's been a steady decline since then. We technically get EIA inventories. Not technically, we do. 10:30 a.m. this morning, 2 hours from right now. Not sure what those inventories are going to look like. Really, the fear in the market is what those inventories are going to look like for the next month, maybe the next 2 months, maybe the next 3 months, and from there. Jumping through the markets, we'll start things off with the S&P. Right now, 2393, excuse me, you see it ticking across at the limit down. Quite the week so far. Monday, of course, we go to 2350. Tuesday, the low, early yesterday, that low, 2352. 2 points away from it. And then the press conference with President Trump going on in terms of Mnuchin. Trump hopefully looks like to be about 1 trillion, 1.2 trillion, sending out checks to households within the next 2 weeks of more than $1,000. The market liking that news. We trade from 2352 up to a high of 2480, the high 2542. Remarkable run over the span of about 2 hours, almost 200 points. From there, though, we've trailed off. We're going to be approaching this low of 2352 and 2350 dating back to Monday. We're going to be approaching that right on the open. If you look up the SPYs for an indication of where we're going to open, the SPYs closed at 252. It looks like we're going to open, we're as low as about 235, 237. So that'd be more than 5% drop in that market. Nasdaq, pretty similar story. Let's just get rid of that drawing real quick. So you have the Nasdaq from Sunday. You open Sunday evening. We make a low in the Nasdaq, 69.06. Pretty similar action. We just get just shy of that low, 69.31. We're going to be approaching that level on the open this morning. There's your Dow just above 20,000. The low we made yesterday in the futures, 19,736 I have on that chart. We're going to be going for that price point this morning as well, all but assured to open at a 19,000 handle. The question is going to be, do we approach the 7% limit for another 15-minute circuit breaker? It's amazing how familiar we're all going to be with the circuit breaker rules. Hadn't happened in a long time, but 7%, didn't hit 13, came within 0.1% of hitting the 13% circuit breaker. Pretty remarkable action. The Russell, checking in, Russell limit down as well, 1,034. The low in that market, 966. We covered crude. Gold contract, 15.11. Quite the acceleration yesterday on gold. Tom talking about it on this program with myself and in his afternoon program from 1470 all the way to about 1554. Gold actually dipped below 1,500 briefly this morning, back above that level at 1512. And notes and bonds, quite the move here, especially in correlation with what's going on in the market. So that market, zooming in on where we were yesterday, I mean, we're seeing bonds lower, 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 right? I mean, just as of now, we've got some action the other way. But we were trading at 515 this morning, keeping in mind futures markets limit down, right? And you have the bond trading down. So you were having a higher yield, the 10-year up about, I think it's 1.1%. I'll pull that up at one point. Just a remarkable turnaround for those bond markets. And as I'm pulling it up right now, yeah, we're currently sitting at 1.062%. Maybe bonds leading the way, saying we're going to come out of this, because not often you'd see those yields rising, the price of bonds plummeting as you have the market price plummeting as well. So something going on there. We'll see where that correlates out to. In terms of 8:30 in the morning, I like the time slot. We get a lot of news that comes out at this time. And U.S. housing starts, 1.599 million in February. They were looking for 1.5. I think what you're going to see in terms of just personal opinion, speculation, is that a lot of these numbers are pretty much meaningless if they're going back more than about 2 to 3 weeks, because it's remarkable how the world changed in that time. I mean, to keep things really in context, you put the S&P on a chart, you pull it up here, I think we're still going to be, if you just put it on a 20-day, there you go. It's going to trail off at some point, but a 20-day chart gets us back to the all-time high in the S&P, February 19th, in the futures, 33.97. As of these lows, we're going to open 1,000 points below that price level, and we're on a 20-day chart, basically back about a month ago, February 19th, not even a month ago. Just a remarkable acceleration. And the VIX, of course, quite the spike, and we just got 84.83. That was early yesterday. So the VIX actually pulling back a bit. We haven't got the prints this morning, 75.91. In terms of digging into some of the details, in terms of what was happening yesterday, and there's your headline. So Trump told Mnuchin to go big and $1 trillion stimulus emerged. It's quite a press conference yesterday. You had President Trump, Vice President Pence, Secretary of the Treasury Mnuchin, along with many others, holding a press conference, answering questions. Mnuchin said the fallout could actually be worse than the 2008 financial crisis. Seeing headlines overnight in terms of what he was saying to members of Congress, 20% unemployment possible. And, you know, folks, you got to realize that this kind of temporary halt, of course it's possible. If you're a business owner relying on cash flow on a monthly basis, there's going to be zero cash flow in a lot of businesses for a period of a month. And that's going to translate right down the line of workers that work for those businesses. So at a White House meeting Monday night, Trump reviewed the plan for an $850 billion stimulus. Why not make it $1 trillion? Trump said, if you want to go big, go big. And I would agree with the president in this one. You got to go big, because you got to kind of keep things afloat for those 6 weeks. So we'll see what happens as that market goes. But a remarkable shift from the president, and hopefully we get things in order. I mean, in Florida right now, things just got extended in terms of having schools closed out until April 15th. I know a lot of the Boston areas, we have a lot of listeners from Boston, a lot of the Boston areas closed down on school until April, middle of April, late April, even up there. Boston dealing with a little bit more cases. But things accelerate, and here we are. Checking back in on the S&Ps right now, 23.93, and that market waiting for the open, a real indication, a better indication, I should say, when the futures are limit down. Looking at the SPY in terms of where we are this morning, we were at a low of 235, 237.53 right now. That's going to be down about $15. Yeah, which will be about 6% negative in the market. Stay tuned, folks. When we come back, see what else we have on tap in terms of news of the day. We'll be back in 3 minutes. Stay tuned.
If you're in the CD market and looking for a secure investment, the Tiger First Mortgage Program may work for you. The security for these first mortgages are building lots in the tax opportunity zone in St. Petersburg, Florida. The Tax Act of 2018 set up tax-free zones across the country where you can build and hold for 10 years and pay no tax on the profits, which makes these lots valuable. The investment is anywhere from $30,000 to $75,000. The interest paid is 7% yearly, paid on a monthly basis. According to Bankrate.com, the best rate for a 4-year CD in the country as of February 20th is 3.1%. A $50,000 investment at a normal 4-year CD rate of 3.1% would give you income of $1,550 per year or $6,200 over the 4-year period. That same $50,000 investment in the Tiger First Mortgage Program would give you $3,500 per year or $14,000 over the 4 years. Which would you prefer, $6,200 or $14,000 of interest on your investment? If you would like more information about the Tiger First Mortgage Program, you can call me at 877-518-9190. That's 877-518-9190. The gold market has taken off topside in a large way in 2020. If you want to take advantage of this sector, now is the time to subscribe to my gold report. The gold report took profits in 4 of its equities in the gold portfolio in the first week of January for a combined profit of 99.2%, with 2 positions left in the portfolio that have a profit of 67.5% as of January 7th. The gold report is a comprehensive look at the metals sector as well as the markets that move gold, which is the currency and bond markets. New subscribers get a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to lose. Every Monday morning, I publish the gold report with coverage of gold, silver, bonds, the XAU, HUI, GDX, as well as more than 30 different mining equities. To see for yourself the types of profitable trades that are recommended within the gold report, sign up now by visiting TFNN.com. Don't miss out on the next great gold trade. Sign up today.
Are China A-shares hot or not? If you trade China A-shares, now may be time to take a closer look. Trade CHAU or CHAD, Directions Daily CSI 300 China A-share Bull and Bear ETFs. China A-shares in either direction. Visit directioninvestments.com today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foresight Fund Services, LLC.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV for the latest market information.
Welcome back, folks. We have futures limit down. That's 5% in the futures market, 45 minutes to go. Checking in on action across the market. Bitcoin, taking a look. Quite a fall off you had from Thursday to Friday in Bitcoin. 4210, back up to 6,000, back under 4,500, mellowing out a bit in between a trading range, maybe between about 5,000 and 5,500, down a bit on the session, technically off 4.7%. Jumping over to some of the stocks that we have headlines this morning. Boeing shares, Boeing seeking access to $60 billion in public and private liquidity for the U.S. aerospace industry. Boeing has already told the government it cannot meet its liquidity needs under the current market conditions. Boeing, the pain continues. Pulling up the Boeing chart this morning, we're at 132, making all-time lows in Boeing. We closed at 124. The pain in this, remarkable that we might get under 100 when you consider that Boeing, just putting this back even on a year daily, 398, I believe that's the all-time high. 3-year weekly, no, we were up at 446 just over a year ago, March 4th of 2019. You're going to open at about $100 in the price of Boeing. Other stocks out there, Tesla, as everything halts to a grind across the country. Tesla ordered to halt production at their California factory, despite Musk's plan to keep the factory in operation. Counties in San Francisco Bay Area issued a shutdown order earlier this week for all non-essential businesses. Elon basically arguing his Teslas are essential business, and the county telling him that was not the case, putting this on a shorter time frame. We're going to open under $400 in the stock. There's your 15-minute, reaching 380. Quite the trend from even last week, from 653 to 392. Putting this on a little longer term time frame. I was talking to Tom off the air yesterday, and we were saying, man, they don't call it parabolic moves for nothing, folks. You got to be aware when you see this run up. 988.99. The only thing that this is almost akin to in my mind when I think of this type of a run up and then a collapse, Bitcoin, not far off, right? We're now going to open under $400. You're almost back to, we were trading at about $350 this area, maybe the next area, because we're going to open now below December 31st. That low, 402. The bid offer right now sitting at $392 for Tesla. Other companies out there, Ford, GM, Fiat, the automakers struck an agreement with their workers to slow production at factories and limit the number of workers on the job at the same time to keep that virus from spreading. That seems to be good news. FedEx out with earnings. This one, an interesting one. Maybe not what did you do for me for the last 90 days? What are you going to do for me for the next 90 to 180 days as we go 3 months out? But nonetheless, quarterly profit of $1.41 a share, matching estimates with delivery companies' revenue exceeding the forecast. FedEx also suspended their outlook, as many companies are doing, pointing to the impact of the virus. Not sure how you can get a realistic outlook of where this is going to be. It's a pandemic, folks. You know, no matter what kind of financial analyst you are, you can't understand the implications of a pandemic. I don't think we all do. Hopefully we limit those implications. That's what we're doing right now. FedEx last night spiked on that news initially to a high of 104.69. But then, just like that, we're going to trade at $91, actually down on the session. Now, the market down on the session as well. FedEx, as businesses may slow, may be hit. But then what if people are ordering more goods from home? Remarkable to see how that plays out in that market as well. Checking in on Amazon as we jump around. Worth mentioning, closed at 1807. Going to open at around 1748. Big day for Amazon yesterday. Actually went from below 1700 to above 1850 at one point. $150 move intraday in the market. Settled at just above 1800. Amazon announcing they're going to hire 100,000 workers and accelerating higher on the potential of more deliveries from home, which would only make sense. Also, I saw the headlines out there that they are prioritizing essential needs delivered to their warehouses as opposed to other items that they might deliver to make sure they have the ability to warehouse and get that out to people that need it, whether it's sanitizer, masks, supplies, or the whatnot. Other stocks with headlines out there. General Mills, they beat estimates by a penny a share for their earnings. Quarterly earnings of 77 cents a share, a penny above the estimate. Revenue missing forecast, though. GM, like numerous other companies, said the impact of the outbreak on full-year results still uncertain. GIS is their symbol. Yeah, I mean, I was going to say, as these companies have seen items fly off the shelves, I imagine now putting this, yeah, quite the spike. Look at that trend up to 60. Another one that I had seen just in a comparative way, Procter & Gamble. You know, you've had quite a sell-off, but as people have figured out, maybe, that grocery stores completely empty all over the country, Procter & Gamble going to open this morning at about 112 or 113 more like it, but quite the trade higher over the last couple days, going from almost $100 to 118, going to open at about 112 in the 112 range right here. Other headlines, Exxon Mobil, they're raising $8.5 billion in new debt, but had to pay a higher premium than usual because of the recent tumble in oil prices. Yeah, I bet. Who is lending Exxon Mobil money right now? And if you are, you better be getting a premium with oil dropping below $25 potentially. Exxon Mobil shares are going to open in the 34 range. The low from, is that Friday? What are we on here? No, that's Monday. Monday's low, 33.25. You have a bid offer right around 34.40 right now. Exxon, the pain continues. Chevron, I mean, these oil companies, quite a fall off from 120 down to a low of 65, and you're going to open at about $66 in the price of Chevron shares. There we go. Target announcing a reduction in store hours. You're seeing this a lot. Whether it's supermarkets, they're going to clean the stores for maybe an hour or two at night, opening in the morning. Some stores, good idea, having special hours for people who are highest risk. Maybe it's 60 and older early in the morning, maybe when the store is at its cleanest, you could argue, right, before everybody runs through it all day. So we'll see how that. Walmart getting an upgrade to outperform from neutral at Credit Suisse, which thinks the retail giant may grow market share due to the virus-inspired long-term structural change in consumer buying habits. Yeah, I mean, if you have the ability for the first time to buy everything you need online, look at that spike to 119. I mean, we're up right near that high of 125 as the market's falling apart. Walmart potentially benefiting. This morning, we're going to back down to about 114 in Walmart. Let's see how Target has fared. Not quite as well. Whoops, TGT as Walmart, as I've been keeping an eye. They're going to open right around 99 or 100 Target. Pretty wide bid-ask right now. But the high on Target, 130.24, not keeping up with the likes of Walmart or Amazon. Kroger, you know, just in the same effect. Check out that spike. It's going to open at about 33.25. made up to $34.94. The shopping, the grocery stores, they are the ones that actually are going to stay open no matter what, because people got to eat. So that playing into that market. Dunkin' Brands upgraded to a buy from neutral, saying that as the virus outbreak takes its toll on the operators, investors should increase exposure to companies in the sector with strong brands and balance sheets. I mean, that's something I would agree with for sure. You know, some of these companies, folks, the market cap on them right now, and what is Dunkin'? DNKN. I should know my Dunkin'. Going to open at $45.50. Quite the fall off there. Maybe they're going to be open for more deliveries and whatnot, but you can't. There's only one Dunkin' Donuts, as we know, in Boston. And we'll finish up with Uber. I mean, quite the fall off for these companies. Uber Eats is going to be getting business, but nobody's going to be in those Ubers, and Lyft shares as well, down from over $50 to $18. Stay tuned, folks. We're coming back to wrap up the program. See what else we have on tap for Wednesday trading. We'll be right back.
I'm certain you are or strive to be one of the best at everything you do in life. It's the most common trait that we tigers and tigresses share. If you're looking to become the best of the best when it comes to managing your money, let me teach you to do what most wealth managers tell you can't be done, which is how to time the markets. I'm Steve Rhodes, author of Mastering Probability, and for the last 12 months, Timer Digest has been tracking my newsletter signals, which have earned me the ranking as their #1 market timer in the nation for the S&P 500 for the last 12, 6, and 3 months. Timer Digest also ranks me as the #1 market timer for gold as well. The fact is, markets can be timed, and I'll teach you the exact set of tools that I use that has transformed me into one of the best at what I do. Sign up for Mastering Probability today by clicking on the newsletter tab on the homepage of TFNN.com and get immediate access to workshops where I take you step by step how to use an extraordinary set of tools, as well as provide great market calls too. Sign up today.
If you haven't checked out the newsletters page of TFNN.com, what are you waiting for? All of the TFNN newsletters are informative, up-to-date, affordable, and a must-have for every trader looking to gain a competitive informational edge in today's markets. TFNN newsletters cover every aspect of the markets to offer you the very latest in market news. Plus, new subscribers get to test drive our newsletters risk-free for 30 days. From all aspects of the markets, including stocks, bonds, metals, commodities, and tech, there's a newsletter to fit your needs exclusively from TFNN. Stay informed each day you trade and get that competitive edge that will help you stay ahead of the game. Visit our newsletters page by going to TFNN.com and click the newsletters button near the top of the page. TFNN.com, educating investors.
You know what's cool? Taking something that's good for you. Something specifically formulated to help with weight loss, better sleep, stress reduction, and the need to detox.
Nico, our hunter and gatherer ancestors found all their nutritional requirements for health in their wild environment. But today, our food sources no longer contain the vitamins, minerals, and nutrients our bodies need to stay healthy and strong.
That's why we need Primal Edge Daily Nutrition. It includes a special blend of ionic, soil-based vitamins, minerals, fatty, and amino acids in an easy-to-use liquid form.
Primal Edge is powered by highly concentrated fulvic and humic acids, nature's preferred delivery system. They have been called miracle molecules because, like sunlight, air, and water, life cannot exist without them.
That's right, Paige. They ensure we receive all the nutrition we need to be healthy and thrive. We take it every morning.
Primal Edge, formulated and approved by Nico and Paige of Living a Primal Lifestyle. Buy it today for just $89. Click on the Primal Edge banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV for the latest market information.
Welcome back, folks. We have futures limit down right now. They're staying that way. Looks like the market going to open maybe at around 6% to the downside. We'll see if we trigger that 7% stop in the market for 15-minute circuit breaker. We have about 35 minutes to go until the opening bell. Just jumping around, I mean, the headline number to keep track, 203,000 confirmed cases, 8,205 deaths. Still the scariest thing on this chart to me is the Italy numbers, 31,500, not necessarily the amount of cases, the fact that of 31,000, 2,503 deaths, a remarkable mortality rate. I mean, if you're at 3,100, you're at 10% mortality rate. We're at 2,500, just big numbers there. And hopefully that shifts out to be something that more people recover, and that comes down, because that is a scary statistic. Now, as we get into, they're talking about it in the den, they're talking about bailouts, because anytime we have the headline of $1 trillion stimulus out there, you know, hopefully we talk about these airlines and their bailout, let alone the many number of companies that were making boku bucks over the last 10 years. You know, you get into the numbers for these articles, folks. They're looking for $50 billion. But guess what? Just even here, remarkable Delta alone, the past 5 years, 2019 to 2015, how about 4.8, 3.9, 3.2, 4.2, and 4.5 billion dollars of profits those years alone? All of those profits coming from the fees that we paid for bags across America. They take those fees, they privatize the gains, and then when they need money in a downturn, and this is a remarkable downturn, all right, but it can't happen every 10 or 20 years. And there were risks of interruption of air travel, maybe not to this degree, but that money all just handed back, and it's going to come from somewhere. So hopefully, maybe it's, you know, low-cost loans, just not a straight-out stimulus, some type of thing where it's not a complete handout, and maybe just something to keep them on their feet, though, because we do need those airlines. Stay tuned, folks. We got our man Larry Pesavento coming up live at 9 o'clock. It's interesting doing the program when futures are limit down. You get no market action, but you know what? We'll end it with the notes, because check out that market. You got the 10-year now sitting at 1.1%. Stay tuned, folks. Larry Pesavento at 9. I'll be back at 10 o'clock with Tom. Live programming all day at TFNN. We'll be right back.